Namaskara Charan, welcome to Spark Igniting Minds, our YouTube channel, and it is a great pleasure to interview a remarkable individual like you. And you have been an engineer, then later on shifted to journalism and also cycling. And how did this transition or the shift happen?
Namaskara.
Yeah.
The pleasure is mine to be invited here and then share my thoughts about whatever journey I have come up over the years or over the decades. Yeah, definitely there is a transition in my checkered career when it comes to qualification and profession. But whatever I do it with lot of interest and personal interest rather. So my life is totally driven by passion, I can say. So whether it's cycling, riding or profession like journalism and all. So that way the calling was there right from the beginning. I think I have written my first letters to the editor when I was in 6th standard.
Oh.
So from there I tasted what exactly it is to see your name in paper, and definitely whatever change you can make or share your thoughts in a public forum, this particular media. I mean, at that time newspaper was everything. So that was the time, and that really influenced me a lot. And later on, I continued to write letters to the editor, and then I graduated to something like articles, all that. But everything was in Kannada. So because in my tier 2 city, Bhadravati, so we had access majorly to Kannada papers, and everything, was driven by those thoughts. Next, after many years, when it came to deciding career, by which time I had become engineer, and also I worked for an engineering firm for some 6 years.
Right.
So later I thought it's a calling here, so I shifted. I was waiting for an opportunity, and interestingly, I should thank all my people who really pushed me out of that industrial setup. So long story cut short, it is like this. Once I started working in a factory, I wanted to change the way people think and work, all that, for which Japanese way of work culture, way of working or their work culture really mattered a lot.
Right.
So once it so happened, my employer, company manager, sent me to their mother factory where Japanese culture was there practiced. So once I went there, I had a lecture there, and that changed my thoughts. Then I thought, why not I implement the same thing in my factory setup?
Right.
I was in charge of some big shop floor with some 80-100 people. So when I thought I should do all these practices here, then I started thinking differently and implementing all those Japanese practices. Lot of resistance came, not from the people who were working in the shop floor, but my seniors, because they thought their way of working is the best. But here I left the responsibility to them and accountability also to them. So all I need to do is set a target and then letting them to work. If some problems they encounter, I ask them, you people think collectively, act collectively, and if the problem does not get solved, you come to me.
Right.
So this way, not only their self-esteem got up, and then I also got free time.
Okay.
So this is where I started reading English papers and then novels, all that. All my literary pursuits I was doing when shop floor people were taking care of themselves.
Okay.
So any problem is there only I will learn to enter. That kind of setup I created, and since results, see, the entire world matters only with results, not the way you work.
Yeah.
So I was giving production, I was giving targets, I was meeting targets. So there was no complaints. But still there was a problem with the management because my thoughts are different, my way of working is different. Because I put workers first. See,
Yes,
management wanted production, which is ensured only because of these
At the
people.
end of the day, the production should happen effectively. That's
And
it.
these are the heart and soul of a factory.
Yeah.
So that way I gave importance, and definitely I won these people's confidence because they never thought a supervisor or an engineer can be thinking like this or be one with them,
Yeah, okay.
and one who care for them. It's not that I care monetarily or something, that is all fixed by the management. All I did is give them the basic self-respect. That kind of approach I had, and I won them. So this is what happened when it comes to middle management like me. So I was good with these people, bad with those people because I was good with these people. So it is their perception, and lot of rubbings happened, and then I started writing, and then my bylines started appearing, and they suddenly thought this man is a misfit here, and they started complaining against me to the MD. And MD also for quite some time he was also pissed off, like always they complain against Charan. So Charan is a problematic guy. So he did not apply logic because I am a very small pawn in the big system. Yeah. Then after multiple complaints that Charan is writing and he is wasting his office time and all, I said forget about office. Where have I not given production target? I have always met the production target. Also there were quality because workers are peacefully working, quality is ensured. So those are my principles. And then one fine time when multiple complaints against Charan for writing paper came, and he casually asked, Charan, why are you struggling here? Why don't you join a paper? That was the
that was your
trigger. Yeah, then I thought, okay, this man, though he is fed up and saying, I should take it seriously. And it was my defining moment, I can say. And I started looking for paper, and there was one ad, I still remember, one pencil, one small paper. Can you write was the catch line, and I applied for that. It was a .com company. In 2000, I graduated in 94, and up to 2000 around, I worked in a factories. Then .com, 2 .coms I worked. Then I joined paper, and for quite some time.
So 2004 itself you became a journalist, and you started writing, and your writing career began. And from there, how did you get into the cycling? What was the passion that pulled you towards cycling? And 2007 you started
Correct. 2007. Yes. For some years I worked for .com and then joined print, and then 2004 I joined Times of India. At that time, my daughter was just 3 months old.
Okay.
So here, after 2007, around 2007, she was started, going to kindergarten, all that, play home, all that.
Right.
Then I thought I should take her to those places in cycle and come back instead of scooter. I had a scooter back then, which I bought for ferrying all factory materials and all.
Right.
So later, I thought I should pick her and drop using a cycle. So there was one cycle idle from my nephew who had just graduated to college, upgrade a bike. So this was idling. So instead of buying a new cycle, I thought I should try this one. Even if I discontinue, there is no harm. And the moment I hopped onto that cycle, there was no stopping. So only thing
you started developing a
love for cycling there, and
Yeah.
that is started because I thought I should drop and pick up the kid from play home or school on a cycle. So I made a small seat in front of the my seat, and then so those are all small. So my daughter is already in the final, 8th sem of engineering, architecture course, and I'm still riding. So that's
still writing.
So it's still 17 years of continuous riding like.
Yes, and that's how your cycling career started. It's very interesting. And you have traveled all over Bangalore also. And how do you feel that Bangalore as a cycling hub? How is Bangalore, and how has it been evolved from so many years of cycling?
I happen to be one of the privileged riders who has seen very nascent stage of Bangalore cycling. So around 2005 or 2004 it started. I joined the community, means a very informal group, because at that time no social media was there, just phone call away, and very few riders were there. And 2007 it picked up a bit, and then as we entered 2010 and 2012, there were email exchanges, and something called blogging was there. So like that, through all these media, we stayed connected. And at that time I was into reviewing movies and all for paper.
Right.
So then I realized there is this community which really is doing silent work, and how these people are bonding over morning rides, the camaraderie part and all. I was just observing through blogs.
Okay.
So, but I cannot join them because my being in media, my weekly off are not Sundays or weekends. I have to work.
Sundays also you had to work being in the media,
Yeah.
right?
So media means they are all staggered offs, not on particular weekends or something like that. These people used to write weekends, so which I could not join, but no regrets. I thought I should write alone, like so wherever I go, I used to follow. I mean, I used to observe them. Those are the destinations I mark, and then I used to write alone. So coming back to the community. As I said, very few people were there around 2005, and then it gradually
now it's grown into a very big community.
It's a silent revolution. At that time, now it's become a movement, I can say, and everybody is into achieving big things, and lots of kilometers they have clocked each one, and it's like one inspiring the other, and then.
So you started small like this, and even you have completed 1,26,000 plus kilometer of cycling, which is an incredible feat, I can say. And how do you prepare and for such a long journey? And what are the challenges that you face during this long cycling?
Sir, as you said, it's a long journey, and we both know, and everybody knows, every long journey starts with a small step.
Yes.
And that's the small step.
So I took. A small pedal.
Small step, yeah, we can say that. So, small with a small cadence, what we call. So I started with that, and then got inspired from the community. Right. How these people are going to Nandi Hills, enjoying that ride, and Nandi Hills was something very big there, and. Here I want to insist on one point here. We should not get carried away with what others do.
Right.
As a rider, it's my responsibility to share with the audience that what suits our body we should do. Yes. What makes us happy we should do.
Yeah.
So every single rider has their own philosophy or approach towards cycling. Their approach is totally different. Because the personalities are different. One person may feel good by just going for a short distance. Others may feel good with their family bonding or cycle, and then a long distance, some tours, some endurance rides. All this individually we should see. Just because one person is doing a tour, though it fits, my thing is only shorter rides, I should not get into that. But if I want to get it, speak to people, get tips, get tricks, all that. Perfectly prepare and then enter. So this social media is one thing, is it influences a lot.
Right.
That's a very great part. Correct. Because half the things it will bring people to the saddle, yes. But it's not you should also say that do what your body requires or what suits your body. Okay. These are the small things that to take care. And coming back to my thing, I also got influenced. And then I thought, okay, I should increase my distances. Okay. So after the school thing, I thought in 2007, October 2nd, that's the Gandhi Jayanti, I decided to ride to office. Okay. It's 10 kilometer from my home then. Every day 10 kilometer going, and night I used to come back. Because less traffic, I could easily clock that in shorter duration. So this happened, and from 2007 Gandhi Jayanti till COVID happened. So every day it's like riding to office and coming back.
Riding to the office and coming back. Almost how many kilometers you do every day?
Every day 20 kilometers.
Every day 20.
It's been like consistent, that fixed.
But when did you start going on a long journey?
Exactly, I'll come to that.
Yes.
See, after staying connected with the community, I realized that a lot of people are going to Devanahali, Nandi Hills, Mysore, all that. But I was not game till then because I did not know that I can also try. Because mine was a very short distance and my equipment. Cycle was also not ideal for such kind of rides. They used to go for high-end bikes, which were very costly then. And I was doing something which my nephew had used it for school commute. Okay.
Commuting for school.
Once it happened 2008 February, there was an ad in our own paper, I mean Newsbit,
Times of India.
Newsbit that there was a race in Jog Falls to Shumaga.
Oh.
101 kilometer, 103 kilometer something was there. And my colleagues insisted, see, you are from Bhadravati and your hometown Shumaga is calling and you are just riding here. And then I thought, okay, these people are talking sense and then I should try. So 100 kilometers, okay, I will prepare myself. And I did not know what to do, how to prepare. So what I did is just to get used to that grueling thing, I started running in the morning every day and then riding. Just physical, so that I can feel light. Very amateurish approach because I did not know who to ask also. All that is, it's a grueling thing, 100 kilometers. So for one,
it's an endurance thing, so you have to
I just
make
ran.
the body fit.
I just ran.
Yes.
Had lot of dry fruits.
Right.
So then it was all fun now. But definitely, I know there is a grueling thing awaiting me in Shumaga. So I'll do it. After having all that, I went to Shumaga. I put the cycle in the bus and then reached there. And there it was a very funny thing because all those who had come for the race are all high school students.
Oh.
I was double their age.
All right.
And their equipment, that cycle, they are all from Bijapur side. They are all like real athletes with real equipment, all race bikes.
Okay.
And my cycle was double their
Just
cycle's
ordinary.
weight. No, the weight was also double than theirs. So I was double their age and cycle was double their weight. And then I realized I have come to a wrong place or I have come totally unprepared. But you are already there in the game. You are already in the peloton. Start. And it was very nice that experience because that's my first 100.
Right.
Okay. Just 4 months into daily
How
office.
many kilometers? It's from
100.
100 kilometers.
Jog Falls to Shumaga.
Jog Falls to Shumaga.
So there everything was cool and I thought these people would have reached in very short duration because they are state level athletes.
They have been practicing, they know and they have completely prepared with the proper cycles.
And it is one interesting thing what I realized there is all these kids, for them this is the bread and butter. They used to train a lot in the mornings. They have seniors who are retired cyclists, so they used to train them early in the mornings. These are the takeaways for me from that gathering. So overnight I stayed with them, observed them what they do. All their life goal is simple. Get into racing, win as many medals, get into police or railways. So it is their career thing. So young age they can get into all these jobs. So they...
For you it's all a different
for me it's just that I want to ride 100 kilometers, I want to make a debut in my hometown. Anyway, I did it and these people took it some 2-3 hours I think or 5 hours maximum, I don't know. But I took my own sweet time and the event was hosted by the district administration and somebody said some journalist has come from Bangalore and he is riding somewhere and I was stunned.
That became a news I think.
They realized that because my own reporter in Times of India said our guy is there, he is riding alone. And usually cyclists, the last cyclist, before that there should be an ambulance as per the protocol. And I should be whoever is there last. And I told that ambulance fellow, there is no point in waiting for me because you will also be slow. And I really don't know how long it will take. I will take enough breaks in between because I want to reach the destination and nothing else. So I let him go also. And my phone was there in the support vehicle. So these people keep calling me and I was totally cut off. I was simply riding. And morning 7 o'clock I left and I realized that I reached around 4 o'clock in the evening. And by that time everybody was panicking and then whether Charan comes in one piece or not. They were wondering. But anyway.
All others had reached by then?
They reached by 12 o'clock or by lunchtime.
And you were the last one, like...
I had juice in between.
It reminds me of the hare and tortoise story.
I did not want to collapse anywhere, but I wanted to reach that. See, my goal is too simple, to reach that place. By which time the DC was very impressed that I completed 100 kilometers. He gave me a trophy also. And then I thought, okay, my debut is over and I came back. But jokes apart, the takeaway was this: if I want to do 100, I have to be damn serious about it. I should have the right equipment and I should come prepared mentally also. I was success. It was a success, but definitely I should be more mature in next approaches and all. Um, then I realized 2008, mid 2008, Devanhalli was coming out with an international airport.
Right.
Then I thought, okay, I should go to that place alone and come back.
Oh.
So it was some 40 kilometers. So 80 kilometers, how do it? So with the same cycle I went and came, but here I was prepared with proper lunch, proper hydration, like water, and we used to have electrol. All that we should have properly.
Okay.
And I was mature enough to understand and keep two sippers like that. And camel pack I had by then. Camel pack is that water we keep it in the bag and then keep sipping.
Rucksack.
Yeah, like that. What tripod and cyclists use. So I went there and came. And later I realized, okay, this is okay. Almost I gone to Chikbalapur, Devanhalli means. Why don't I try Nandi Hills? So around 2010.
The next fate was Nandi
Nandi
Hills.
Hills. And Nandi Hills also.
And then you bought a new cycle or?
I had bought a new cycle, which was a Merida, and by which time I was aware, I was bonding with the cycling community, those who deal with all these things. They suggested one high-end cycle which I bought, and that's why it started. Nandi Hills also went, I came back, and then was the obvious destination was Mysore. So Mysore also multiple times I have done. It is like if I want to do a tour, go to Mysore, come back, and then prepare for this, because at a stretch 500, 600 kilometers and all, it's difficult. So Mysore, if you go and come back, body gets used to and then prepares for the next. That is how all the tours were planned later.
Okay, and that's how you started going to, very long tours like Khardungla also. You have done Manali, Khardungla, and how was that ride? And can you share because it's a very tough terrain, I can say.
Yeah.
So how was that ride, and what lessons did you learn from that experience?
Madam, lot of takeaways from this Khardungla ride. Khardungla ride is, endurance wise, it's very nothing actually. It's easily and doable it is. The challenge what I learnt is acclimatization, because of the high altitude, less oxygen.
You have to get very cold.
Cold, that is a given, because we are in the Himalayas. So only thing is we have to be mentally prepared. And why I went there also is very interesting. I think I can share. See, every Gandhi Jayanti I used to celebrate by having chikki or sharing chikki with colleagues, friends, whoever inspired me. So that way, it's very ordinary way of celebration. By 2017, that is when I completed 10 years, I realized why am I doing celebration so simple? Because I have already done with these major hills in Karnataka and South India. Major hills means these only, Nandi Hills in Chikmagalur, like Mullangiri, Sitayangiri, then in Kundadri in Shumaga, and then Kalati, which is the toughest climb in Tamil Nadu, then Munnar. All these were done by 2010. So
by 2010 you finished all these
major
South
tours.
Indian
Major tours I had done. So later I should mark this 10th anniversary of my cycling in a very unique way. So there I thought I should connect with, I was looking for a different idea, and then I saw one request from a Facebook cycling community that they are doing Manali Khardungla. So I thought this is the ideal thing. So I need not prepare for that, because all the hills I was familiar, hill ride and all. And also I was...
Only you have to acclimatize it, cold and different terrain there, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the basic challenges. So personally, I enjoy riding on a MTB. So there are three types of cycles. One is mountain terrain bike. That's called MTB, what they call. Then there is a road cycle, like very thin tire, which is very good for highway rides. So, and there is one in between, hybrid, a cross between MTB and this. Here, this particular hybrid is also good for long rides. Because if one is to clock minimum 200 kilometers a day, they can either take road bike or this thing. But in Himalaya, MTB is the only cycle which stands out of because of the granules. The road is not pakka there because of the constant.
It's on the ice you will have to do? No.
Yeah.
It's on the ice or?
Depends on which time you go. If there is a snowing.
When you went, it was how?
It was no. See, particularly in 5 months of a year or 6 months, that roads will be open for tourists,
Okay.
where you can ride easily and you will not feel that chill, all that. Definitely. Here, when I went, it was in July time, and it was a sunny time, and definitely not much. Roads were there all bad because of the ice melting and all. All the roads, whatever they build, that will get eroded. So when road erodes, you will feel only those those stones, gravels, all that will be there all the time.
Okay.
So imagine riding on these things, and there is a valley outside. So
huge valley.
valleys and all that. These are the challenges.
Yeah.
But since we have already ridden in this Chikmagalur, Talati, all that, rolling down a hill and all is a very tricky thing. No, rolling down is a bit difficult rather than climbing. Climbing you are slow, but here you are very fast.
Very fast.
You can easily clock some 40-50 kilometers minimum.
Okay.
So like that will be speeding. One wrong braking means you are no more like that kind of. Exactly. So here roads are not that good, but definitely they are making attempts to build. Border road organization, BRO, what they call, their amazing spirit keeps all these roads intact. They will be constantly building, they will be repairing. One of the other things they will be doing, that is for the good of tourists. So we should be grateful to those people for keeping those roads. And coming back to challenge, nothing much, because some 560 kilometers only it is there. From Manali in the Himachal Pradesh to Khardungla, which is in Leh district in Kashmir state. So here,
how many days
we took 10 days there.
10 days.
10 days
For 560 kilometers. And in a day, how many kilometers?
Depends on the stretches. If very steep is there, less distance. If the distance is, if the ascent is very small, not much, we will stretch some 100 kilometers.
How many were there with you?
We were six. Through Facebook, we 6 people we got connected. One is me from Bangalore, the other 2 from Pune, one from Hyderabad, and 2 from Rajasthan. So like that we 6 people got connected, and then we went to
And you also decided from Manali to Khardungla, or it was
we
an
were
organized event?
No. The guy who actually invited that they are doing this Khardungla, he had a plan. He wanted to launch an outdoor adventure sports club. So for which he wanted to do a promo through a short movie. So he wanted to go with a short movie. So he invited participants. Then we were all taken there, and then there was a short movie, Moving Mountains. So that is based on this.
This reminds me of a short film.
That is nothing but this particular expedition.
This expedition.
Coming back to this Manali Khardungla, see, many people, thousands of people are done, and every year it's not a big deal. But riding particular amidst nature and in large space where you are only
What
one.
was your age then? 10 years after you started? 2017?
45. But thing is, you are riding one with nature. Absolutely nobody is there around.
Yes.
You are one with nature, and the beauty of Himalaya I can't describe here. And it's a bliss.
And only you should feel it.
You should feel it. You should be out on the road, and you will perspire, and you will enjoy the breeze. All that is there, and the valleys, the views, and the Sindhu River, BS River, all that. It's a bliss. So riding is not a thing there. I thought, okay, anniversary I'm celebrating at the right place, 10th anniversary, and then lot of learnings happened also, because it showed me how you can live with minimalistic things, because you are totally cut off from the world there. You don't have mobile network, so you are cut off from the world. Second is, you have to sustain on basic things. Whatever you are cooks in the tent, it may be basic paratha, for breakfast also paratha, for lunch paratha, for dinner paratha. 10 days you have to sustain, because you have to ride the next day, you have to eat it today and build some stamina. So those are the main things. The luxury was only Maggie. and that cold tea.
Maggie
Was
the
a
most
staple there.
luxurious thing.
Yeah, that's the only extra indulgence we used to get.
Right.
And tea, whatever you used to give.
Okay.
So basic. And you don't have any hotel also. You just pitch a tent, go in sleeping bag, catch whatever sleep you get up early in the morning, go. Afternoon you enter it, again come back, mingle with people who are from different places. Like us, many riders will be there.
Okay.
So we used to bond with them.
Yeah.
So those are the experiences. And coming back to tours, I enjoy riding with different sets of groups because I get to meet new people and their experiences I share, and I enjoy a lot socializing on, especially when cyclists meet, they talk only about cycling and their journeys. So that way I happen to be with so many groups over the years.
Sir, if you had to describe your cycling journey as a metaphor or a story, how do you relate it?
So there's nothing much because Einstein has already famously said that life is like a ride, cycling.
Okay.
So if you want to keep going, you have to keep balancing also.
Okay.
So, and as I have seen,
life is all about balancing and
going
forward.
I want to add to that,
Yeah.
life is also full of ups and downs.
Yeah.
When we are in car or cab or two-wheeler, automobile, so we will not notice the ups and downs.
Right.
But when you are on a cycle, you will be waiting to go that downhill and you will be just waiting for these uphills to end. But definitely, we really don't know. We are riding in an unknown terrain. So earlier and all, now you can see apps and all indicating where you will get elevation and all. But when we started, I mean, when this revelation happened, we were just riding. You don't know where the next corner is there, or the road is constantly going on and on, rolling terrain. But there will be somewhere down where you can just relax. Then there will be steep up where you will be really huffing and puffing.
No.
So life, I think, is
like that when you have a lot of ups and downs,
and you will be just keep smiling at down when you roll down, and then again you have to no option, you have to ride uphill also. Those are all part of the life.
Such a beautiful analogy that you have given for this thing. Like how does cycling impact your physical or mental health based on your personal experience?
See, cycling,
if you can share some of the anecdotes also.
Cycling makes me happy. I call cycling is my way of flying. I feel liberated when I
You
ride.
feels like flying when you're cycling.
So cycling is flying to me.
Oh, okay.
So I need not go on an aeroplane I even getting onto saddle and then go on a spin, I'm flying. Because it frees me from all the things. So I stay cut off from that. Listening to anything, whatever is there on the earphone, and then I'm one with my nature there. So
you're cut off from the materialistic world and one with the nature.
Yeah. And even as I have ridden to office for 13 years till COVID, there is a lot of traffic. But it's like if I'm onto the extreme left side of the road, I am me and my cycle and my road. That's all. Even the worst traffic, it made me, cut off from the world.
Okay.
So slow moving, it's okay because I can't clock more than 20 kilometers in a Bangalore city. So even they are also into same speed. Now also it's some 2024, even two-wheeler, automobiles. For me it's okay. And I know my distance and I know what time I have to be there. All I need to is plan. So wherever I went till that COVID, it's on cycle. And I had a two-wheeler which I donated to somebody because I never used that. It was lying idle. Lying idle means getting rest. So I just gave it up. So it's all about being one with nature, and this cycle definitely helped me stay like that.
That's wonderful, sir. Whether you are at Manali or whether you are in the Bangalore road city, in that small lane, you feel cut off from the world and you are in your own cycling journey, and that gives you a lot of happiness. That's wonderful and that's really inspiring. Okay, coming to the next question. Like, what was the experience of achieving the title for endurance from the Paris Club?
Few years ago, cycling tour was in vogue in in Bangalore, a lot of people used to do cycle tours. They just take on the cycle, ride in groups to distances like 500,000 kilometers over days. See, these are the ways people used to bond over cycling. So stay together for multiple days, the camaraderie, all that is. So it is just fun outing there. And later another concept came that is called endurance riding. So in cycling parlance it's called breves. So long distance rides, and that was catching up. Then I realized people are doing this also apart from touring, and why are they doing it? I wanted to know. So after studying the scene in Bangalore, how breves are catching up, I thought I should do a story about this particular thing. So I took permission from the editor then, and I spoke to people who were into breves, and I got a lot of information. What is the challenge? Why they do it? And that makes them stretch actually. Those people who are riding 150 kilometers, 200 as part of tour are doing 300, 400, 600. So there is a difference. See, tour is basically one fun ride, point A to point B, B to C like that. But here, point A to point E, the last one, a longer distance, and they have to cover it in certain time. And the roads are same, but the thing is, the challenges are different. Because in a continuous stretch you have to ride means, it may be day, it may be night, all that.
Okay.
Tour
You are not going to stop anywhere. It's an endurance.
Yeah, I'll come to that. See, tours and all have a policy. You are riding only between dawn and dusk. The sun should be there when you are riding. It's a safe thing. But here, it is a self-supported ride wherein you are really doing it come what may. You start at one point and you come back to the same point after covering the distance. They will all be in denominations of 100, like 200, 300, 400, 600, 1000, 1200, like that. So you are doing that loop within the stipulated time. So even if you delay by 1 minute, you are unfinished. I mean,
you haven't reached your goal.
Did not finish is the title they give. So DNF is a very direct thing, but definitely starting point, and then you come back to the starting point means finishing line. So you achieve the title Randonia. So what this Randonia, thousands of people do, and many people do multiple times. So it's not a big deal when it comes to that, but they know their craft. Means they know how far they can stretch their body and what preparations they have to take, and it's a self-supported ride. Everything they are responsible. Their safety, everything is their responsibility. All that is they have to register, and the Paris club gives them the number, and the local group which is affiliated to the Paris club, they will endorse that this person has done this, met the deadline, all that. And lot of protocols are there, just to ensure their safety. So you have to have a good lamp, you have to have good hydration. To achieve that, many people keep doing these things. Here, the end of the thing, they will also get a medal from Paris. So that Paris club, ACP what we call, so they give a medal. And earning that Paris medal is a very coveted thing.
Is this an international thing, or
yeah,
where does it happen?
No, it is like this. ACP is in Paris. So it has lot of clubs affiliated to it, and they are spread across the world. So individuals, like in Bangalore, one club is there. They will conduct the rides, and then depending on the rules stipulated by ACP, and accordingly they will give the random thing and also a medal if they finish. So these are the multiple things that cyclists are doing. So when it comes to this breves, it's more of a endurance. The body is treated like an engine here. So it is not a fun ride, and you have to have certain amount of fluid, electron, because you will be sweating. So good hydration you have to follow. The dynamics are different when it comes to this. I understood all this when I wrote this article for paper, and this article came around 2018 December end, after the Christmas.
Which is that article?
Breves. Breves only. What Bangalore community is doing with regard to breves. And after speaking to them, definitely I got inspired. And 2018 end only, I made a resolution for the new year that this year I am going to have a private title.
Oh.
Okay, so simple. There are 4 rides in that: 200, 300, 400, 600. If you do it within one calendar year, from November to November, we will get that superannuation title. Here also multiple people do, it's not a big deal. But since I was only in tours, I wanted to try this. And then within first 5 months of 2019 only I got this title. Only thing is I want to see what exactly it is. So I have not done later because I am more into leisurely rides and tours and all. But definitely what this brevet, because I had written an article, I realized that I have to try this. Luckily I got it in the first attempt.
First you wrote the article and
then I resolved that in 2019 I will have. In the first 5 months only I got it.
Wow, that is wonderful.
And again, it is not Charan's achievement again alone. So it's a community. How my community supported me with cycle. I did not have a cycle there.
So what was the title that was given to you after finishing that?
Superannuation.
Superannuation. So what are the different?
So 200, 300, 400, 600. Each ride if you complete, they will call it as randoning. I will be randonia. But if I complete all the 4 within one calendar area, I will be given the title superannuation. And in Bangalore, there are many people who keep doing this repeatedly. In 1 year, one person would have earned some 4 or 5 SR titles like that. And into 4 medals also for each title. So I feel it's just for fun and to stretch my limits, because in the night and all I have to ride all this. But anyway, it's fun that I met the challenge, that's all. And it's because of the community support.
So on cycle you must have, written a lot of articles also. But when it comes to your title of publications like Anti-Clock and also your Sammelan 2.0. So the titles are very curious to me. So what are the themes that you have covered there, and what do you want to tell the audience through your publications?
See, what we do is to get gratification. If we do something, we should feel satisfied.
Right.
That is when we really stay cheerful all the time. And my calling was in journalism. I joined journalism and then transitioned into writing about cycling community, actually to celebrate cycling, to celebrate the cycling community. So this particular aspect gave me insight into a cycling and between people how it differs and how each person looks at cycling. So I get to hear thousands of stories about cyclists and it's one-to-one. If you are a cyclist, I will just dig deeper into that and then get what makes you a cyclist and what exactly your interests are and what made you take this challenge up, all such things. So over the years, I think in India, maximum stories heard by anybody is, I think it's me. Because I
so
enjoy...
you compiled all the stories?
Definitely. I have documented each and every ride of mine as also those people who really inspired me. So definitely they are all there documented. Here the point is, I was privileged enough to get to hear these success stories. And my successive editor where I work, that newspaper, they encouraged me to write and they gave space. And I was privileged to be right at the center of this particular thing. So it's like in the cycle parlance, if all these cyclists are spokes of a cycle, I am the hub. Because I can see connected with each of these spokes. So it's a privilege to be a hub, I think. So that way I am really thankful to my editors and the community to have given me a chance to listen to them and also celebrate with them. And whatever I had written so far, it is just not my thing. So they inspire, I perspire. So that way it is it's a collective thing, I can say. So alone I could not have done anything. Though I had to ride alone, the persons who drive me is all this. The paper,
your community,
the celebration, because the good vibes what these articles ooze, this is one part. Riding is one, writing about riding is one. But there is also a writer in me who always want to explore more. And since I studied in Kannada medium, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಬರೋದು.
ಹೌದಾ?
ಓಕೆ, ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಅದು ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓದಿದ್ದು.
ಇವೆರಡು ಕನ್ನಡ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಇವೆರಡು ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಥೆ ಬುಕ್.
ಯಾಕೆ? ವೈ ಡಿಡ್ ಯು ನೇಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಂತ?
Yeah. See, here, anything is catchy. Actually, I am nobody to writing literary world then. In 2015, when this book was published by Sapna, I had no name in the market that is a story writer. Fragmented ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಮ್ಯಾಗಝಿನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಬರೋದಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ಚರಣ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಚರಣ್ is not a name to be sold there in the bookshop. So the title is a natural thing to be catchy. ಈ ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಗಡಿಯಾರ.
ಯೂಶಲಿ ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್, ಓಕೆ, ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಇಸ್
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕವರ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಗಡಿಯಾರ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ 1, 2, 3 ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದು 1, 2 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 12 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ 11, 10 ಹಿಂಗೆ 9 ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2, 1, 12 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಓಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಇದು ಬಂತು ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್, ANTI ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಆಂಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಆಂಟಿಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಂಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಆಂಟಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆಂಟಿ ಕೈಲಿ ಏನೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಕತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಕತೆ is somewhat very serious ಇದು, though it looks like ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ರು ಬುಕ್ ಅದು ಕೈ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಒಂದು ಕವರ್. Though we all say don't judge the book by its cover, the fact remains that
people get attracted to the cover itself and
then the blurb. Okay, for blurb only the writer's name, it is absolutely zero. I am just making my debut there. And then Auntie Clark was catchy and people liked it. And then after 2015, absolutely I could not write anything because I was so engrossed in these tours. Every year I had to take leave from.
So this is nothing to do with cycling, is it?
Nothing. This is totally fiction. Kannada fiction.
Both Sammilan also.
Both also.
Okay.
So there is a writer who is not into cycling, not into writing about cycling.
Okay.
It's only pure fiction. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಸರ್ ನಾ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಐ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೈ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್.
Your own satisfaction, happiness.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. But end of the day, if one person feels happy reading it, I feel my efforts are paid off.
Right.
Then whatever happens apart from that is my bonus. So I write also for my own gratification. Book banta, it's a bonus. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು 4-5 ಜನ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ, ಇಮೇಲ್ ಬರೀತಾರ, I feel privileged that somebody is like my character, somebody has connected with the character and they know somebody who is like my character. ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಂದೇನು ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ಬಿಡೋದು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಡೊಮೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೇನೆ 2015 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಕತೆ ಬುಕ್ ಬರದೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಸೋ ಎನ್ಗ್ರಾಸ್ಡ್. Then I realized the writer should subside and then writer should get up anta. So 2019
writer slept and writer awakened.
2019 ಅಲ್ಲಿ see all these are resolutions. I year end ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, I write a mail to myself. It is strange, but I write a mail to myself with a copy to all my well wishers that I am trying this. I will make an honest attempt to get these things done in this anta, and accordingly I will plan my idu. So ride ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು 20 kilometers ಇಟ್ಬಿಡೋದು, ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಕತೆ ಬರೆಯೋಣ ಅಂತ. So what I did in 2019 is ಹೆಂಗಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಒಂದು ಕತೆ ಬುಕ್ ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಅಂತ. ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಮೇಜರ್ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಈವನ್ ಡನ್ ವಿತ್ ಪಾಂಡಿಚೇರಿ. ಪಾಂಡಿಚೇರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ 12 years ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ 2019 ಹಂಗೆ. ಸೊ ಹೆಂಗಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಆನಿವರ್ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ದೆನ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಕಿರಣ್ ಬೇಡಿ ವಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪಾಂಡಿಚೇರಿ as the lieutenant governor. So then I shot a mail, celebrate ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ, I just want to ride and meet you ಅಂತ. So madam agreed and then I rode all the way to Pondi and I met that madam, took a photo and I came back. That is my way of celebration. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಯಿತು. ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಲೋ ಹೋಗೋಣ, ರೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಟೂರ್ಸು, ಬ್ರೆವೇಸು ಎಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ಒಂದು ಲೆವೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ರೈಟಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಅಂತ. Then I seriously wrote a mail to myself and my well-wishers that this year I am promoted. Then around March, even as I was going to office, they all declared lockdown. So lockdown means Corona happened in 2020 March. Then we were all made to sit at home without no rights. So no reading idaga. Then I thought I should get into writing. So that was a first thing. But definitely I utilized all the 6 months of on and off lockdown period to write stories. In 6 months I wrote 6 stories. And then ಆ ಇಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಬುಕ್ ನಾ ಏನು ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ದೆ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್ and
which is that book? Adena
Sammilan 2.0.
Sammilan 2.0.
2020 I had written it.
So that's why 2.0. Okay.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಅದು. So ಅದು Sammilan 2.0 it's an app. App the version ಅದು modified version 2.0. So if you see the cover you can see a mobile phone with the Sammilan app. Adrudhu upgraded version adu title. Anyway, coming back to these stories, ನಾನೇನು ಬರೆದೆ 2020 2022 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ದಟ್ ಐ ಅಚೀವ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಐ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ರೈಡಿಂಗ್ again, because I attribute all the stories, whatever are there, are all the crystal forms of happy hormones. When I ride, I get really a good adrenaline rush. We all know.
Okay.
So that time you asked me one question, how you feel riding alone, what happens in your mind, all that, no? So these are the kind of stories that get concept.
Oh, when you are cycling alone, lot of thoughts come to your mind. The stories come to your
creative
mind.
ideas rather.
Creative ideas.
Because I am alone.
Yes.
Imagine you are riding from dawn to dusk. You are all alone and absolutely nobody around.
Only nature around.
Nature around, and riding means after some years that will be like autopilot mode. If I get onto that, it will automatically goes.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything except pedaling and balancing.
Okay.
Take breaks, all that. But those are the 12 hours or 10 hours what we ride is all that we are to ourselves.
Okay.
Nanu mattu Nanu. Charan is one with Charan, like. And there is nature, breeze hitting you, and all the happy hormones will be, you will be full of happy hormones like endorphin, serotonin, all these will be. So these are the small things that makes you happy, and this is where I think many of us cyclists get addicted to cycling to get these hormones, flowing through you. So that time I really enjoy phase of thinking something conceptually, creatively, like. So it just comes automatically, and some ideas may come. That need not necessarily translate into a story, but definitely there is a trigger somewhere. So it's like getting them jotted. So if there is something like that, you register in your mind, and then when the next break happens, you jot it down. That this thought has come to me like that. So in the last 5-6 years from the first book, lot of writing had happened and lot of story ideas were there. But only thing is I never got the opportunity to sit and write, translate those points into stories. That is when this COVID happened, and then I just utilized that time, 6 months, to translate all those points which were jotted during the previous writes into stories. So this is how this autopilot mode helps me to think and then come out with stories.
And while coming to your journalistic career also, you are the senior assistant editor in Times of India. So how is that experience, like working as a journalist? So if you can share a few of your insights and experiences.
Definitely.
As a journalist.
See, as I said, the first letters to the editor was written when I was in 6th class. From then, my only dream was to just work in a media house. I mean,
in the media house, you are writing stories, or what section of the?
See, I am on the desk, and the desk means we do editing and then make pages for the edition. We per se do not do reporting in the desk. So here, apart from the desk role, I used to get joy by speaking to a cyclist and then writing about those community.
Okay.
So in a way,
So you publish a lot of articles of cyclists in your newspaper itself.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
In Times of India only, but that is out of my interest.
Okay.
The day's requirement is only editing and then making page.
Okay.
Apart from that, I went that step out. Then I spoke to these people and I was also reporting these things.
Okay.
So that is my interest. So that is how I contacted with the community, bonded with the community and celebrated their part.
Right.
So many articles have been written, they are all online. Just Charan Times of India means you will get only cycle related stories. But if you hear, the interesting part is how I transitioned into cycling this thing. Because of my support from all my successive editors, they really give prime space in Times of India and to cherish and then celebrate the cycling community. Individuals, what and all feat they have achieved. So it's a very challenging thing also because with a limited space you have to come out with one article which captures the spirit, the human spirit, and also the data, why they are different, what makes them special riders. And the third is the human angle. Who supported, who inspired them, who and all they supported, or who and all they were supported by. All these things I had to capture it in limited words. That was a challenge. But definitely the community shared so much with me and it's a delight to be with them and then writing about them. And I feel really privileged to be one with this community.
Cycling and writing is in your blood. It goes complementing each other.
Definitely.
Yes, and you have shared your highs of your cycle journey, and also in between there are some silent moments in your life other than cycling and writing. So how are those moments, and what do you learn about yourself during those pauses?
See, there has been never a dull moment in my life when it comes to cycling, except those 6 months because of the lockdown. That is the only time I could not ride because of the rules, because we were all confined to houses. So there also, after some time I got an indoor trainer and then I started riding indoors.
Okay.
So that is after the first unlock happened. But easily for some 4-5 minutes, easily I was not riding. That's the only time I could not ride. But apart from that, right from 2007 Gandhi Jayanti till today, it's been minimum 20 kilometers I have been riding. And even as I am speaking to you, morning I finish my ride and then I am here. So it's a part of my life. It's not even my lifestyle now.
So there are
it's
no pauses only, I can say.
No pauses when it comes to riding. But definitely writing I had given 1 or 2 years of break because I was personally busy with some other this thing. So it needs some mind space. It's not that I can write and forget. So it needs some mind space. That I was not having. So those are the only, in the last 1.5 years I could not write anything. But the writing is there.
Okay. So when coming to the future of India, especially regarding cycling, what role do you want to play in inspiring the next generation of cyclists?
See, we are a very small community. When it comes to a big automobile world, we are non-existent, I can say. But definitely, going by what has happened on the city roads, there can be a hope. Only thing is, this community should be under the right patronage and there should be some people, policy makers I can say, they have to consider this community and then take the movement forward. From 12-15 years back, what was there, very minuscule number, now they are into big numbers, and definitely given the infrastructure, they can ride to wherever they want. But in cities there are certain tricky things, and even as I speak about this, in this 1,28,000 near to that, because 1,26,000 was when last October happened. Now we are into some 4 months. Now 1,28,000, I can say in this 1,28,000, more than 1,10,000 I have ridden within the city. Okay, so I know what the city challenges are and what exactly.
So don't you think that all these vehicles, automobiles have to be reduced and cyclists have to be given a lot of space because there's so much of advantage, pollution will be reduced, so many.
See, these are all wishful thoughts. automobiles, this thing, because that is driven by a lobby again. So nobody would like to this thing. The idea is to put maximum vehicles on the road, and also these policy makers also create more space for vehicles. Absolutely, they don't think much
Very less space for
the public.
cyclists.
Public space. They think if they want to design a road, first thing that comes to their mind is a traffic, where automobiles rule. So here, cyclists and pedestrians are in the lowest strata of this thing in their scheme of things. But definitely, going by what we have seen over the years, in the last 10, 12 years, definitely there is hope. But the policy makers should sit with these people and then ask what exactly they need. But here what is happening is, not to offend anybody here, but this is my observation, they are in a different world and these people are in a different world.
They don't even understand
the requirements of these cyclists.
mind.
I can give thousands examples because I have written and I have heard stories and all.
Right.
But not naturally everybody will like this truth. But definitely if somebody wants to do something good for the city, as far as cycling infrastructure is concerned, definitely cyclists are open to talking and they can definitely have a sitting. And if anybody wants to facilitate a meeting, I am there right there. So my email is charan.cs, C for cycle, S for support. So charan.cs@gmail.com. They can connect with me and I can facilitate. Definitely there is hope. Only thing is there should be right people planning the right things. So this is my
So Charan, talking to you about cycling, about riding, about your life vision, that was really wonderful. It was such an interactive session and a lot of visions, your insights, your experiences you have shared that will really inspire the upcoming cyclists also. If you want to say one last piece of advice for these cyclists, what would you say?
First of all, I'm not that good to give any advice. All that is I can share my thoughts. Having ridden some more than 1,10,000 within the city and on tour for some another 20. So here we should do what suits us, suits our body. If I want to get into cycling, go to the right people. It can be any cycle showroom. Go to experts. Now social media is there. We can connect easily with those people who are in the know. And then ask our requirements, whether it's a short distance, whether I want to do touring, or it's for tuition classes, hobby classes, all this, tell them and be with the right people and right group also. Every body is different. Respect that body, what it needs, and your body, your height, your weight, everything matters when it comes to picking the right cycle. So picking the wrong cycle for your body will only injure or harm you in the long run. It may be fine now. So speak to people who are dealing with cycles, professionals, get into that. And also don't get influenced by social media. Just because somebody is doing a tour, I will do today only, I will start and then go to Mysore. No, everything should happen gradually. So this is one part. And then do what makes you happy. Because ultimately that is the thing. If somebody gets a high by riding 200 kilometers, but if the same high you will get it in 20 kilometers, go for it.
Go for it.
Do whatever distance, but do ride. Big or small, that makes you happy. And it's a bliss. Bangalore is having, very good temperature when it comes to cycling. And also the terrain is not that bad.
Difficult.
It's all flat roads and all, rolling terrains what we call.
Correct.
So you can just have a spin, very short distances. Temperature is like we are in a AC city. So definitely the terrain and the temperature are ideal for cyclists. Start a short distance depending on your interest, your capabilities, how body copes. Just do it and don't get influenced by anybody. There are a lot of social media thing. Just keep an eye on that, but don't literally follow that.
That was a wonderful piece of advice. Just not following social media blindly. And you should know your body and you should know your cycle also. And whatever gives happiness, that has to be followed. So that was a wonderful advice, Charan. And
so what I say is, we should do what makes us happy, come what may. So if it is harmless to somebody, just go ahead and do it. So ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿವೆ. So now I realized, looking back my journey, I realized I have covered almost 1,28,000 some 300 kilometers. So this particular distance is nothing but 1/3 of the distance between Earth and Moon. So ಈಗ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮೂನಿಗೆ 1/3 ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಮಿಷನ್ ಇಂಪಾಸಿಬಲ್, ಯಾಕಂತ ನೀನು 2/3 it requires so many years, but it feels good that I have covered 1/3 of the distance. But again I want to add that in Bangalore there are some riders who have covered more than 1 lakh kilometer. So that way very few ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೊ ಇಬ್ರು ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು we learn a lot from speaking to others like that. So every small distance is doable. Only thing is that one step we have to take to make the first step, and then it keeps us going. This is all I can say, and it's a bliss to be with the community.
That's so wonderful, Charan, because out of, I think you are one of the few, one among the 10 who has covered more than 1,20,000 kilometers. And that is a really incredible feat that you have accomplished, I can say. Thank you so much for coming here and educating our audience. And for audience also, I would like to say, if you want more and more such inspiring talks, please follow us on Spark Igniting Minds YouTube channel. Thank you, Charan. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sana, for giving me this opportunity to share my journey as a rider and writer. And one more thing is, all this were possible only because of my family.
Right.
And I owe to my family, that is my wife Suma and daughter Impo, for what I could do. It's only because of their support. Without them, I couldn't have done this. Definitely yes. And then there is one Bangalore cycling community, and I really don't know how to thank these people. And they are always there for me and supporting, cheering, and like that I am there for them. And I also take inspiration from these people. And coming back to my family, they are my everything, and I thank them for whatever I am.
Thank you.